Welcome, folks. Another mini-sode for you. Dustin Harris hanging out with you. Still got a broken wing. Still hanging out in the sling. A couple more weeks. We should be done with that. Want to talk today about the Appraisal Institute and what they came out with on March 21st. But first, I want to remind you that we are sponsored by ANOW Software. ANOW now integrates with Alamode. ANOW.com/coach. ANOW.com/coach. For more information. Folks, just received information that the Appraisal Institute, in fact, this is from their website. You can just jump on the AI website, appraisalinstitute.org, has put out information basically giving their opinion on appraisal thresholds. And no surprise here. Well, it might be a surprise to some. Some people I know just hate the AI and think they're against the appraiser. And you know what? I'm in the middle. I see some things they do that are great. I see some things I do that they do that I question sometimes. But I think this is a good thing for appraisers, okay? So if you want to jump on their website, theappraisalinstitute.org, and check out I think you just go to the search bar and you just type in Appraisal Institute urges caution. Just type in that much, and I'll bet you'd find it. From the 21st of March, 2017, Appraisal Institute urges caution on appraisal thresholds. That's the other keyword you could probably put in there is appraisal thresholds. Okay, here we go. This is out of Chicago, of course, and it's written this way. The nation's largest professional association of real estate appraisers today cautioned. But I love how AI always starts out their press releases. By the way, this is a press release on their website. Of course, I'm sure other people have picked it up across the news wires. I learned a little something years ago when I was running a nonprofit organization that most of these news stories that you see in the newspapers or even on TV or what have you, in the social media even, are written by the companies that they're about. They're puff pieces, folks, and they're not written by journalists. Okay, just so you know, I have a feeling, maybe just a feeling, that the Appraisal Institute wrote this actual press release, right? Okay. Again, nation's largest professional, blah, 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 real estate appraiser today caution federal regulators over increasing the transaction values requiring an appraisal, also known as the appraisal threshold. Sometimes they talk about the de minimis, I knew I was going to screw that word up, de minimis requirements, okay? I'll just read the next paragraph. The Appraisal Institute was responding to the Federal Finance Institutions Examination Council's joint report to Congress issued today, which said the federal banking agencies are developing a proposal to increase from $250,000 to $400,000. Okay, those are key numbers, folks. Increase from $250,000 to $400,000 the threshold for commercial real estate transactions. Okay, talking about commercial real estate transactions. The report did not propose changes to the current residential real estate threshold of $250,000. Those of us in the appraisal real estate residential side are sighing a big sigh of release. Okay, there was no proposed changes for the current residential real estate threshold of $250,000. The agencies continue going on with the article. The agencies continued to review the $1 million business loan threshold for owner-occupied real estate. Here's the deal, folks. There's been a lot of talk recently about the possible changes in the threshold, the de minimis requirements for an appraisal. Okay, right now it is at $250,000. So if you're selling a house at $260,000, Fannie Mae says you've got to get an appraisal, what that entails is another question as well. What is an appraisal? Is it a desktop? Is it an evaluation? A lot of that is in question as well. But as of now, there is a de minimis requirement. They're holding firm on the $250,000. That is good news for appraisers. That doesn't mean they can't get an appraisal for less than. Obviously, we do appraisals all the time. That sales price is $200,000, $150,000, $80,000, what have you. Okay, but the de minimis requirements in the past have been $250,000 for residential. They are not. I repeat, not. Proposing that they increase those, but the AI basically came in and said, hey, listen, the proposed changes to the commercial real estate transactions, we are against changing those as well. They want to keep those at $250,000. We will talk about what that means to you as appraisers when we come back from the break. I want to first pause here, remind you that we're sponsored by ANOW Software. Super excited about the changes in ANOW Software. Specifically, it now integrates with AllMode. That's a big deal, folks. I've talked to a lot of appraisers over the last year or so. When I promote when I promote ANOW, they say, well, yeah, I get all of those features and I get why I would want to do ANOW, but I really don't want myself or my assistant double entering everything. I don't want to put the address in twice. I don't want to put the due date in, the borrower name, the loan number, the client information. I don't want to put all that in there twice. I put it in AllMode. I put it in ANOW. Man, it just seems like it's such a pain. And it was, but it's not anymore. Right now, as of a couple of weeks ago, ANOW now integrates with AllMode. This is super cool. In fact, I shouldn't say it that way. AllMode now integrates with ANOW is really the way it works. In other words, the way we do it here at my office is we go right into AllMode, we set up a new file, we put all that information in, and we hit one button, and bam, transfers over to ANOW Software. Super cool, super fast, super efficient, and you will be super happy with ANOW. Go to anow.com/coach. Once again, it's anow.com/coach. Got a new sponsor here today. You want to do a shout out to Desk Jockey 2000, CE drone by Appraiser. This is great, folks. Introducing the Desk Jockey 2000 CE drone by Appraiser. Are you licensed in one of those states that requires you to take your continuing education live instead of just online? In other words, you're forced to leave your appraiser cave at least once every 2 years. Well, now you no longer need to deal with direct human contact, folks. Try the new Desk Jockey 2000 CE drone. Send your drone to any class within a 200-mile radius and take your live continuing education from the comfort of your appraiser cave. This unit looks similar to other 5-propeller drones, except for the robotic arm, which allows you to raise your hand and ask questions during class. This is the guy in front of you really tall and blocking your view. Simply increase your hover elevation and get a clear view of the instructor. Once the robo pen is properly aligned, you can even write your live signature on the class roll. The best part is no one can tell when you're nodding off during the lecture. That's right, folks. Take your live CE class from the comfort of your appraiser cave. Dread human contact? No need to moan. Take your class with the CE drone. All right, folks, we're back. I want to do a quick shout out to Tom Boyce. That is the third sponsor in air quotes that he has sent to me. You know what? I gave him a little gift. I gave him a free year of the All-Star team for the work that he went into to writing those for me. I would do the same for anybody else. So if you're willing to send me in 3 sponsors that kind of follow that format, please send them to the coach at theappraisercoach.com. Would love if they're usable and we can put them online, put them on air, and you can send me 3 of those. I will pay for your All-Star team subscription for the next year. Okay, the digital and audio versions. So send them to the coach at theappraisercoach.com. Thank you, Tom, for that. Okay, folks, we are talking about the Appraisal Institute. The Appraisal Institute sometimes gets a bad rap from appraisers. Sometimes they do some things and I kind of raise one eyebrow to and think, what do you think you're doing there? Other times they do some great things. I think this is a great thing, so I wanted to tout it. March 21st, 2017, press release, basically talking about there is a Federal Finance Institution Examination Council's joint report to Congress. Say that 10 times fast. Basically said that they want to increase the Deminimus requirements for a commercial appraisal from 250 to 400. There was a lot of talk about this also spilling over into the residential side. Thank goodness for now it's going to stay at 250. I'm very happy about that. But there is a proposal on the commercial side to raise it from 250 to 400. And the AI has said that their opinion is that's a bad deal. Thank you, AI, for sticking up for appraisers in this manner. I really appreciate that. Folks, what does this mean for appraisers going forward? Well, guess what? Right now, not much. If you're a residential appraiser and, it was 250, it still is 250. And whether or not the AI waived in or not, there's not a proposal, at least that I know of right now, correct me if I'm wrong, there's not a proposal now, again, in the works. There had been talk about it, but there's no talk right now about raising that de minimis requirement. Thank goodness. Hope it stays where it is. There is, of course, question as to what is an appraisal. Is that desktop? Is that evaluation? I don't know. I would say, every time I do a desktop report, I look at it as an appraisal. And I know there's a lot of talk on that side as well, which we may do a show on in the future as well. By the way, just a quick shout out. Anybody who has some knowledge on that side would love to have you on as a guest. I'm talking specifically about evaluations, desktop valuations, and the proposed changes that some states have actually already entered into. Some others are looking at as reducing the requirements on an appraiser so that we can get into that, what is it, a $6 or $9 billion industry that is going to BPOs and other quote unquote real estate professionals. I think it's very clear. That clients want appraisers to do those valuations, but they sometimes are priced out of the market because we still have to adhere to USPAP. So would love to have somebody on as a guest. If you're willing to be that guest, please reach out to me, the coach at theappraisercoach.com. But for now, folks, just a quick mini-sode to let you know that the de minimis requirements for residential currently are staying the same. There is a proposal for commercial to go from 250 to 400, whether or not an appraisal is required. Doesn't mean that they can't do one anyway, but the requirements may be changing. And the Appraisal Institute, thank you, Appraisal Institute, is on board and vocal about saying, no, we want them to stay at 250. Thank you, AI, for that. Thank you, folks, for joining us. And please remember that the All-Star team is now on audio. Yes, I read the newsletter. Killer. I read the newsletter each and every month so that you can listen as you drive. So jump on my website, theappraisercoach.com. Go to memberships, All-Star Team is the drop down, and please join us. We'll catch you next time here on the Appraiser Coach Podcast.